Hey, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Thanks for jumping in again. It's week two. Woohoo! I was a little delayed, but we'll take it, right? Anyway, thanks for jumping back on. I appreciate it. Hopefully, y'all got a little bit from our introduction in our first video. My name is Seth, and this is Opportunity Knocking here on YouTube. And again, we appreciate you jumping in. Last week we said that the number one question that I get when I'm talking in networking events and stuff like that is how to get started. Um, how do I start? And it works for experienced investors too. How do I expand? How do I grow my network? Or how do I grow my business? How do I scale up and do more business, automate my business more, stuff like that. And anytime that you're looking into that, I think there's a couple of things that you really need to look at. It's a loaded question. It's an individual answer. There's not a right answer for any one person. It really and truly is an individualized type situation, which is going to make it a little bit difficult to talk about here today. But I don't know if you guys know, in the comments below or in the description below, there is a link for a 30-minute one-on-one if you guys want to chat a little bit more one-on-one. This is definitely a one-on-one type conversation. I'm happy to do it. There's no charge for that free one-on-one. So if you want to hop on there, but I think it's important. In my business, I run what's called EOS, or Entrepreneur Operating System. And it's basically how the business is structured. It's based on vision and traction and goal setting. It's an awesome system. If you're brand new, should you subscribe to something like that and go and get implemented into a system as complex as that? Probably not. But you can take some of the fundamentals from that to get you started and get you pointed in the right direction. One of the first things that they do when they implement that EOS into your business is they do what's called a vision traction organizer. And it basically breaks down 10 questions for your company. Things like, what are your core values? What's your mission statement? But I think to start, probably the most important thing for you just starting out is setting a very broad goal. When I say broad, it can be very specific, but more of a broader timeline. They ask for like 10-year target is what they call it. And I like it. I like 10 years. Like, you can do 8 years, you can do 15 years, you can do however many years you want. Again, this is an individual type situation. 10 years is good. It's supposed to be rather audacious in the amount that you're doing, or the type of goal that you're aiming for. Obviously, my 10-year target is to walk 10 steps. Obviously, I'm going to achieve that, right? Let's do something that's a little bit out of the box and a little bit what would be my ideal situation in 10 years from now. Just for an example, my business, my partners and I, we set a 10-year target about 18 months ago. And when we set that target, we said that we were going to be in 10 different markets doing 15 different markets, doing 100 deals in every single market. We're currently in two. We're averaging anywhere between 40 to 60 deals per market. So we're on track, in my opinion. I think that once we get the proof of concept with our standard operating procedures and different things like that, get our processes in place and very repeatable, and are able to do it in one or two markets, that we can recreate that. We've already opened up into the second market. We can see the challenges that we're going to face opening into other markets. So once we open one more, hopefully the growth will be a little bit quicker. And then it's just a matter of rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's a great thing about building out processes and standard operating procedures. It gives you the opportunity to repeat it very easily and make changes. You just got to have everybody on the same page, doing the same thing every time. Then you're able to make those changes. So setting that broad target, that broad goal is important for whatever you want to do. And then the next thing that I ask is, it's kind of a two-part question, right? A now and then the future. And it's your time versus your money. Right now, what do you have more of? Do you have more time or do you have more money? That's going to point you in a lot of different directions. There are a lot of people that are super successful. They just need places to put their money. They have no time because or other businesses demands a lot of their time. So they should not start a wholesaling business where they have to be on the phone 4 to 6 hours a day and knocking on doors and all the different things that could go into that, right? They just don't have that time or that ability. So it may not be the right thing to do. Even if it was 100% automated and you hired it out to everybody, you still have to manage that. More private lending, turnkey investing, things like that are excellent ways to get into real estate when you have a lot of money but not a lot of time. Typically, the newer investors that I run into have a lot of time and not a lot of money. So that's where you can find a lot of other options as well. I'd say for the first 2.5 years of my real estate career, I didn't invest a single red cent in real estate. Made really good money. Just wasn't any of my personal money, right? I learned how to leverage my skills for other people's money, or OPM, and was pretty successful in it. Um, but then in the future, maybe 2 years from now, maybe 5 years from now, maybe at your 10-year target, what does that look like? Is there going to be a change in time versus money? Are you going to value your time more than? Are you going to value your money more than? Whatever it is. And that's going to help you kind of this growth pattern and how to scale up to get to that 10-year target. The next that I say is look at your personal network that you have, whether it's a business network, a family network, a friendship network, whatever it is. Um, they said people flock together, birds of a feather flock together, right? You're the average of your five closest friends' income. That's very true in many circles. So kind of look around at your family and your friends and your personal network. Do you have anybody that's in the real estate industry or can assist in the real estate industry in any way? Is a cousin, a realtor, or I mean, what is right? Um, who are those people that you can leverage to build out your team? And where are your holes? Where are things that you need, right? You are at some point probably going to want to have conversations with realtors. You are at some point going to have conversations with title attorneys or title companies. You are going to um, want to reach to some different tax consultants and things like that, accountants, CPAs. Um, all depends on kind of what you're doing. It's going to depend on what your team looks like. But there are three that you're definitely going to want, no matter what you're doing. Um, general contractors, if you're going to be doing a lot of renovations or overseeing renovations, um, project managers, property managers, um, dispo managers, acquisitions managers, right? Like, I mean, is that you're going to kind of beam around what are the things that you're going to be able to do and what are the things that you're going to want other folks to do for you. Kind of the Who Not How, which is a great book if you haven't checked it, heard about. Thought I heard, but I don't. But anyway, Who Not How, it's a great book that you check out. Kind of a lot of your time, and it just has a different mindset behind um, running a business. So inspect your work and then start to add to your network. Right, find your local RIA. So here, Mountaineer RIA. Here in Morgantown, I run that group, um, and we once a month we get out, we network, and we just talk about real estate. Super simple, nothing fancy about it, right? Just a happy hour type situation. But we have time. We talk about real estate. Deals have been made at that table since I started. Um, a lot of things have been made at that table, actually, considering the size of the group, and we're growing. We've reached over. I think when we're recording this, we're at about 115 members on Facebook, um, and it's been 5 months, 6 months um, that we've been running the group. So, Entrepreneur Roundtable as well. That's a virtual group that meets once a week. A buddy of mine and I run that, and that's everybody anywhere in the nation. Just how we talk about entrepreneurial mindset, different parts about running a business, and different stuff like that. It's centered around real estate, but not solely around real estate. So it's a great group for like-minded people. It's interactive. There's a lot of people that ask questions and give advice outside of just me talking or my co-host Ray outside of him talking. We get a lot of engagement. So it's a good group. Been doing it for about 2.5 months now. Um, it's been a lot of fun. Looking to grow that a lot. So if you guys are checking this out, you want to check that out, that's on Facebook at Entrepreneur Roundtable. It's a group that you can join up there and check out all the events for our weekly Zooms on Tuesdays at 6:30 Eastern Time. But local area, right? You could be in Nashville, right? You could be in Anchorage, right? Like, I don't know. Nonetheless, find groups like that. Find RIAs. Find groups on Facebook. Groups on Bigger Pockets. Just different groups that can bring like-minded people together. If you're brand new, I highly recommend you looking for somebody that's experienced and successful and doing the same type of niche that you're doing, right? If you want to be successful in buying and turning turnkey rentals into a passive income, find somebody that's done that very, very well and find out how you can add value to their business, right? And in turn, let them add value to your business. Add to your network all the time. And then the final thing that we're going to say here as we leave out is just pick a niche. Pick a niche and act on it, right? So whatever that is, based on the decisions of the time versus money, what your network is, and what end goals are. Pick a niche. What do you think is going to be the most successful way you do it? You may not be right? When I started, I had a construction background, and so I was going to flip houses. Like, that just made sense to me. Like, I'll flip houses a year. I'm just roll, right? And I'm going to do all the work myself because I'm Superman. And it didn't work out that way at all. My first project was a flip. Learned a lot. I still flip. I'm flipping a house right now, so it's still something that is a part of my portfolio that I do. I love it. I enjoy the renovation side of things. It is not my only type of business that I do, though. I'm surprised that the buy and hold aspect is something that I enjoy, and that the wholesaling is something that has brought me more income than I thought that I could ever achieve. So I kind of have a broad spectrum, and it's because the team that I put around me that we're able to do that. I don't have to focus on renovations. I don't have to focus on acquisitions or dispositions, right? I can focus on the business in general and let the parts that we put in place kind of do the thing. So I have a couple of different things going on, right? I'm able to have a RIA going on and a Zoom call going on weekly, and going on. I'm able to stay active, but it's because the team that's around me. It's not because of me. It's because of processes that me and my partners have put in place, and the team that we build around us that align with our core values and our core focus. Um, so that's how I've gotten to where I am. That's how you can grow, and that's how you should start. I chose fix and flip as my first, and then as that action happened, I got to be more acclimated with real estate. I got to be more active in real estate. I got to be more respected in my networking circles as, yes, I'm doing this. This is the action that's going on right now. And surprisingly enough, just going out to networking events, free networking events, and just talking to people. But me as an actual investor doing a deal, doing a renovation, I had the like-mindedness and something in common with people at those tables. Some people thought that I was more experienced than I was because I was doing my first deal, whereas they hadn't. Um, not me. There are others that were able to jump in and kind of help with, hey, what's going on with this contract? Or this is what I would do here. Have conversations that if I had never done any action, I wouldn't have had those conversations. Uh, it also bred into phone calls that I got from people from those networking events that reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you looking for something else? Hey, we talked at that meetup. You're pretty awesome to talk to. I'd love to go over a couple of things that I got on my plate right now. Wondering if maybe you could help me with those, right?" Uh, so action will breed action. Uh, do not fall into the trap of analysis by paralysis, or paralysis by analysis, I guess. I'm a little dyslexic there, but it's okay. Um, get out there and do something, right? You don't have a lot of money to get started. You can wholesale properties with no money out of pocket. You can buy a rental property, and You can buy it creatively, and you can buy it with no money down. There are ways that you can actually get paid to buy houses. So I've actually had people pay, uh, you know, to buy their house. Uh, so anything's possible, and that's kind of where we get into next is the different niches that are out there. Um, we're going to fall into just a couple of different categories as far as things like wholesaling, fix and flip, buy and hold. Um, but then we're going to kind of define those. We're going to take a break from that and talk about how to find deals. Uh, and then each one of the ones that, as we're looking for deals specific toward this type of niche, specific to this type of niche. And then we're going to find out how we're going to exit those deals, whether it's a long term hold or a wholesale or anything in between. And they can start getting into um, more stuff about fix and flips, right? Building a scope of work and stuff like that. So we got a lot of awesome stuff coming up on this channel. Places to put something out every single Monday for you guys. Start the week off right. Um, and yeah, so I appreciate you guys hopping on. Uh, One thing I always like to say, and why I name the channel the way I do, is when opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. So until next time, see you guys later.